Hello, and I am so glad to see you again. I've been away for a little bit, and now it is time to get my booty back in gear. We are very, very quickly coming up on the Christmas buying season, which means I need to make sure that my website is loaded up with the items that I want to sell this Christmas. So I need to take some product pics. I have some additional products that aren't made yet that I want to offer as well that will need photos taken soon. But right now I want to photograph the things that I have already made and available, and so that I can start getting stuff posted. I figured since I need to take those photographs anyway, I may as well show you how I set up for taking product pics. Now, ideally I prefer to use natural light, and ideally I would have loved to show you this setup using natural light, simply because a natural light setup is something anybody can do, right? However, we are having a massive heat wave here in the Midwest, and it is unbearably hot outside. In fact, it's even hot inside. AC units are not keeping up, and I've been running up and down stairs and carrying stuff and setting things up, so I am already hot and sweaty anyway, and I'm inside where it's cooler than out. So outside was not happening today. But I will explain to you how I would have set up for natural light outdoors if that had been a feasible option for me. That way you'll at least know how you could do it for yourselves. So without further ado, let's get to work. First, let's talk about the elements of my setup. I have a ring light here. I have a folding card table, as you can see. I have a sheet draped across, well, this is actually a background stand for photography, but you could use anything that stands up and that has a pole to drape your sheet across, okay? I did steam the center of the sheet. I didn't steam all of it. Look how wrinkly it is over here, but none of that's going to be in the frame. So I steamed the center where my products will actually be, so that it wouldn't be wrinkly, because wrinkles will absolutely show in your images. And then I clamped, I just used, you know, basic tool clamps to clamp the sheet in place. If I were going to do this outside using natural light, I would have done basically the same setup. However, I would have moved this stand further over so that it extended over the table, and I would have bloused the sheet back so that I had almost a box with a shade over top of it. And then I would have positioned so that the sun was behind my shade back here, because the sheet that bloused over slightly would act as a scrim that would filter the light, which would keep me from getting a bunch of glare on my glass. Now again, we're inside today, so we're not doing a sun setting. Normally I use my actual camera for my images. I have a Nikon, and I've used it for decades, and it is my go-to camera. However, because I want this to be something you could replicate if you needed to, chances are you have a phone. Pretty much everyone on the God-given planet does these days. Most phones have reasonable photo quality. Some of them have absolutely amazing photo quality. But even if you have an older phone with just reasonable quality, you can still pull this off. So, this is how we're going to start. We're going to start with this little trinket dish. And I specifically want to photograph this little trinket dish in a couple of different ways. I'm going to photograph it kind of leaning into my thing there. And I'm going to use my iPhone, and I'm just going to move my phone until I'm getting most of the glare off of that, and then I'm going to shoot it. Then I'm going to set it down flat, and I'm going to photograph it on its side. And I'm going to show it with a couple of pieces of jewelry in it for scale and size. Again, I'm I'm going to move my phone until I have it where there's very little glare. And you'll know where that is as you just move it. This particular trinket dish could also be used as a soap dish. So I have a piece of a bar of soap here. I'm also going to show inside this trinket dish, because I love that it could also be used as a little soap dish. I'm going to take a side shot of this as well. And then lastly, I'm going to take some close-ups of the flowers and stuff inside of the dish, because I want people to be able to see some of that detail. And there we have it. So I'm going to show you these finished photos right here. And there you have it. Quick and dirty, easy, anybody can do it setup for photographing products. Now, I will say Amazon and a bunch of other places sell light boxes, and those are great for some products. They work fabulous for especially small products like scrunchies and I don't know, that's the first example I can think of for the moment. They're not real great for glass because there's a lot of glare, because they flood the box all the way around with light. There's a lot of glare on glass products, so I don't find that those boxes are helpful for my particular kinds of products. They're great for a lot of products though, and they are a super simple, easy way to get product photos for a lot of different kinds of products. However, if you have products that are easily going to have glare, those light boxes are not very helpful. The best bet is to have flat light or filtered light that is going to produce the least amount of glare. The ring light that I have produces pretty flat lighting. Any kind of scrim or sheet that you would use to filter sunlight is going to produce flat lighting. Even a sheet thrown in front of artificial light will help to flatten that light out and cause less glare. So lots of options there, but it's totally, you can absolutely do this yourself. I hope that you gleaned some tips or ideas that will help you to photograph your products for your website. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day. See you soon.